All right, so this is the knife I'm starting with. I don't know how to use a whetstone, and this is probably the dullest and worst knife we have. That's where we're starting. That's our starting point. Okay, so I've got the whetstone soaking. It says only soak the 1000 grit side. Anything above 3000 for King brand does not need to be soaked. It just needs to be wet when you're using it. So I got it soaking in some warm water on the 1000 grit side. I've got one of these guys. This knife was so bad. I had to do a little work on this. So this is the update after just doing the coarsest grit, which I think is around 300. And now it should be pretty dull still, but yeah, it's still pretty brutally dull. But where it was just tearing the paper before, at the very least, we are now cutting the paper. But I mean, it might be a little hard to see on camera. I don't think there's any case in that, but you can actively see the burr sticking off the edge of this. Catches the light like crazy. All right, I also got a picture of, I don't know if you can see, it's gonna wanna focus on my face, but there's a distinct burr. This is after the level 2 grit, which I'm guessing is around 600. I tried to find it online and they do not disclose what grits those are. But now we're looking even worse than the first time, because now we have a ridiculous burr on the edge of this knife. But the actual edge is honed, so that's something. All right, now we made it to 3, which might be around 1000. Again, they don't publish that anywhere, which I think is a pretty big flaw in the system. But getting kind of through this paper, huh? Yeah, 3 gives you a pretty sharp edge. I'm excited now. Take this little guy right here, because I am so far pretty terrible at using an actual whetstone. I know that. But this will hold my edge at a certain angle on that stone, and I can just get it going. Now I got you in my living room. I don't know if you know this, but I can't read Chinese. I can, however, interpret photographs. And I gotta be honest with you, they're not showing me everything that was included in this package. I looked it up, not super clear. I am going to interpolate. So, evidently this, I get my whetstone. It's now been soaking for about 15 minutes. Going coarse side down. I have a feeling that I should either use the microfiber cloth they included to keep this damp and wipe it clean. But what if I'm just supposed to wipe it clean? So I'm gonna use this one to do what I think it's supposed to do. And if that's not what I should be doing, I have another microfiber cloth that I can bring into the experiment. See if that works better. But right now, that's what I'm gonna do with this. So we're gonna get started, do my first learning into the foray of sharpening. All right. So I've been working on it. You can't actually see it in there. You can hear it a little bit. Using the wet rag to wet the stone, clean the blade, has been working very well. But I think that I've gone through the 1000 grit side. This is an old exam. I don't know if it's sharper, but I think that's more because I'm still learning. But should I keep going on the 1000 grit to try to make this better? Or because I feel a very micro burr along the entire length. It makes me think that I've honed to an edge the whole way. I think I'm gonna switch over to the 6,000 and see what's what. And if it doesn't get to a reasonable level of sharp, I gotta go back to the 1,000. But that's it. This is my first foray into the 6,000 grit side. So far, I've been using this guy, keep my angle, just doing a little. And then for the other way, instead of flipping the knife around, I've been re-angling, coming in like that. So now we're about a half hour from when I started. This is the first test after the 6,000 grit. Yeah, I mean, that cut's pretty nice. All right, I got an onion. Now, this is a really light knife, and it's burnt. This is one of Chloe's old, I think it's Swillig, but it's just really old. It's one of their cheapest knives. But let's see how it cuts. This is a Yoshihiro Highsoft. My girlfriend was going to get me one of these for Christmas, but my mom got it, which was a bummer for my girlfriend. But, I mean, yeah, there's no complaints there. Especially when you compare it to how it cut before. It doesn't have the same weight that I would usually want in like a chef knife. But next, I have a Mercer chef knife that I don't use anymore. I still love the knife. It's got a great weight to it. That'll be my next thing I attempt to sharpen. And that one's already got a pretty good edge on it. So I'm not gonna have to go start it out on the other thing. I'm just gonna be able to get it going right away on this whetstone. But that's not bad. That's not bad. Okay. This is my Mercer culinary. This is when I started in culinary school. It's like a 9, probably a 9 or 10 inch blade. I think it's about a 9, which is a lot longer. This is what I was doing before. It's a pretty good amount longer. So we'll see. But I discovered some graph paper, much thinner, to show off how sharp this guy is. This is, it looks really sharp. It is sharp, but more so it's just heavy. Because when you look at the actual cut quality, it's not even close. Okay, this is the other half of that onion. And these onions are going towards, you can hear it. You can hear it hit each layer. But these onions are going towards cheese steaks later. I've been trying to make cheese steaks taste good for years. And I've failed. But, you know how old people, when you're learning how to cook, always hit you with the, it doesn't have to be complicated, it just has to be good. And you never want to hear it because you want to make the dish with your own impact. But I think maturing in cooking is realizing that they're right. You don't always have to make an impact by making it new. Your impact can just be that you've made it really good. Yeah, I made really good cheesesteaks yesterday. Chloe asked me if I could make them again. So I'm gonna use these onions for that. All right, so it's been rough. This one took roughly twice as long. I don't know if it's perfect yet. I have a feeling I'm gonna have to get back on that whetstone. But let's see if there's an improvement. I would say, yeah. Pretty distinct improvement. I'm liking it. Let's see what the new onion's gonna be. Now I'm curious to see this compared to my other go-to knife. It's feeling really good. Oh, icky spot. All right. I mean, yeah, it feels pretty good. Here's the framer up. This is my daily driver, the Binging with Babish brand knife. They're not particularly expensive, but they sharpen up pretty sharp. Pretty sharp. The fact of the matter is I know the sharpener I use to sharpen this. And the stone is not as smooth as that stone. So if that's not making that sharper than this, it's because I'm not doing it right yet. Which is to be expected, right? But I'm not convinced this is sharper than that knife right now. I think the only reason this one sticks a little more, I think it's just a thicker blade. Okay, so since the last time, I went and I made a chopped cheese, which is like a cheese steak, but you use a hamburger instead of steak. Strange, but to do that, I made some roasted long hot Italian peppers. I have some pickled serranos. And I was chopping them up, and I had the knife that I sharpened with the whetstone, and I had this guy side by side, and this felt unusable. So now I have to go and sharpen this knife with the whetstone, but it had been so long the whetstone was dried, so now I'm letting it re-soak because this is the knife I use every day, and this is the one that fits in my knife kit, or my knife roll perfectly. So I have to have it sharp. But on top of that, I put my knife kit away. Oh, it's right here. I went back, so I now need to sharpen this one. I did sharpen this one. The other one's over in the kitchen. I went ahead and sharpened my paring knife. Now it's razor sharp. I keep a second paring knife, which is actually an old cheese knife, but I keep it sharp, and it wasn't sharp. So now this is sharpened up to the standard, which is like all my paper is all cut to bits. But as far as a cheese knife goes, that's pretty good. It's like the lowest quality steel you could ever hope to own. But now you've got me debating. Should I go through and try to do my cleaver? This is a completely different process. I got to hold it at like a 30-degree angle. I got to hold it up like here. I don't think I'm ready for that yet. Last time I had to get that I had to pay someone to do that because I can't fit it in that knife sharpener because the blade's too thick. And then I'm debating my boning knife, but this is a whole different edge profile. I'm nervous about it, but I think I'm gonna try. But maybe that will be for another day. As far as today is concerned, before I conclude and put this knife away, it needs to be as sharp as that knife. So that's what we're gonna do. So here's our testing setup. We have the Mercer Culinary chef knife that was sharpened on the blade, on the stone. Now this is sharpened on the stone. This is my daily driver here. And we have the Babish clef knife, which was sharpened on the Chef's Choice automated knife sharpener. I got some onions, some of this pickled peppers, and the roasted Italian long hots, which are what really gave me a clue that this was way sharper than this and made me think that I had to go sharpen this. So let's see what the results are. Okay, so for the first one, we're gonna do the paper test, which we already know does like butter. We've done some onion. Could be sharper. Which is crazy to say that now. Pickled peppers. And this was the real telltale sign, because the Italian long hots are soft. They don't like to be cut all the way through. And before I resharpened this one, it just wouldn't do it. It's a good baseline. We know that that's pretty sharp. Now, maybe I should have started with the dullest one, but I didn't, so we're here. This is the Babish that I just sharpened. And that feels pretty good. Let's see how we do with the pepper. It really wasn't cutting through the long hots before. Now it's seeming to be nearly excited to cut through the long hots. And last but not least, we've got the Babish knife. It's also pretty good. And I have less emotional connection to it. But it's cutting through the peppers, but it's pushing them around, which is what I noticed that made me question that I needed to sharpen the other one. And look, it wants to push these, roll them. So it feels good on the onion, but it doesn't want to cut something soft because it just doesn't have the blade to do so. Where the other two didn't have any problem. I think it's pretty definitive. I'm gonna get Chloe in here to do these same tests and see what they think.
Hello. I'm also gonna be testing these knives and how sharp they are. I'm starting with the dullest, the non-sharpened knife. My skills aren't nearly as good as Guy's, so don't judge me. And these long hots. Yeah, you do have to give a lot of pressure to this. I feel like I'm cutting into the cutting board trying to cut these.
That was what was the most telling when I was doing the.
Yeah.
When I was like,
Definitely
this knife's unusable.
easy.
Like, what am I doing with this?
Yeah, it's not great. Do you want these cut up more?
I'll claim them.
Are they cut up to your satisfaction? How do you want me to cut them? Was that accurate?
Just like that, yeah. Just
Okay.
like that.
Making sure I'm not cutting these onions in a way that Guy doesn't approve of. He's kind of,
Yeah.
he's particular about his onions.
I'm like the soup Nazi for onions.
I was gonna say the onion Fuhrer, but I didn't know if you wanted that on video. That's why I started I was like, never mind.
I'm glad you didn't call me the onion Fuhrer.
Well, I already did, and it's in there.
Oh,
You said soup Nazi, and so I feel like I had to. I was like, well, yeah, this was beautiful. I like this one a lot. That was lovely. Huge fan. Oh my goodness, it's like a little tiny. It just goes right through them. Does not cut. It just goes right through them.
Come claim these.
Claim these onions. They're
All you gotta do is swipe them off screen. I'll get them.
What a good system that is.
I'll come in there and snag them from you.
I love it. I love it. Okay. Oh yeah, that's cutting. Yeah, it is much easier to cut it with these sharpened boys. Oh, look at that.
Yeah, you kept those here.
I hung on to those ones. There you go. All right, and then now I can claim this.
Yeah, hand it to me blade first. That's good.
Yes, I will hand it to you blade first. Okay. And then this is the Babish knife.
Maybe I should have grabbed one of the non-sharpened knives.
Didn't you?
Like one of the completely non-sharpened. This one's...
Oh, one of the nightmare knives.
Yeah.
One of the tools we never use that sit in the knife container for no particular reason. I absolutely don't want to cut an onion with that, so I'm glad I cut the onion.
No, there's a little onion right there for you.
I don't want to. That's my old knife. That's my knife.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah, I know. Because I don't sharpen my knives. I just use your knife.
Such an asshole.
Yeah.
But you don't want to cut the whole thing up. I brought you another knife.
These two pieces were connected. I wouldn't dare. I need to use that horrible knife. Okay,
Thoughts?
new knife. Very sharp so far. This one, not only is it not sharpened, this is a Mercer culinary knife as well. This was actually from my knife.
Yeah, look. These are almost identical knives.
Yeah,
Mine's just bigger.
They're basically the same knives. Guy's knife is bigger and has a bunch of culinary tools on it. But yeah, this knife I haven't sharpened. I've had for years. It was sitting in a random container at my mom's house for a long time and has not been sharpened since. So it's like truly, there's just no blade. It's nonsense. So we're gonna kind of just cut things. I'm gonna mush this onion up essentially. I'm just gonna kind of. It gets through. It literally, I can see where it's just ripping the onion apart. It's not, there's no slicing. I might as well just be using a small piece of metal. If you gave me a metal bookmark, I think it would do essentially the same job.
You want to sharpen that knife tonight?
Yeah, I kind of want to get, because I mean, this is a real, yeah, really, this is essentially just a metal bookmark. I really think, yeah, you can just drag your finger across there. My brain tells me not to, but I did, and no marks. It's fine.
It didn't cut.
And we're doing it. And we're doing it. And we're using the natural tools of friction. Yep. You kind of gotta see. Okay, so all right, that one got through. And nothing. That's nothing. So you gotta. And it's kind of a saw method because again, this is ostensibly a bookmark. I could put this in a book.
It's a little heavy.
It's a heavy one. It wouldn't be great to carry around in a book, but I think it would be funny if you kind of just had a book with just a knife sitting out of it like this. You pull your book out of your bag, and you're like, oh, don't worry, this is very dull.
All right. I wanted to say thank you very much for this knife sharpener. I was nervous when I opened it. I was somewhat afraid of delving into sharpening knives, as I've tried before and failed. But I took the time, I had a day off, and I think I have developed some amount of skill in it. I'm excited to see how much sharper I can get these knives in the future once I've developed maybe even a significant amount of skill in it. I'm already looking at straps. I'm already looking at the next level because this was pretty fun. It was pretty therapeutic. Thank you guys very much.